All right, all my Detroit Piston fans and all my Detroit fans, all my Motor City Sports Talk fans, make sure you guys go check out Piston Mike. We got him over 100 followers, so make sure you check him out. Everything Pistons, man. He gonna hold it down and do his thing, just strictly on the Pistons thing. You know, I got the Lions and Pistons, but man, we always trying to help people get their channel up. Let's get them to 200 next, 300 next, 400 next, 500 next, and let's get them all the way to a rack so you can start making that bag. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you go over to Piston Mike as you see it on the screen. Let's get them to 200, then 300, then 400, then 500, and the whole shebang. Peace. Right, remember back in the day, reporter Devin Booker hoped the Pistons picked him. Let's talk about this article from 2015 ESPN. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Keep sharing the videos. Don't forget you can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. All links to description. Reach out anytime you got business question, inquiry, response to video question. Check my main channel right here, YouTube, Goodfellas Sports TV. Tap in over there. So, I mean, 2015 draft, he wanted to be a Piston, and it's pretty much been the problem with the Detroit Pistons over the course of time is that they haven't drafted particularly well, even when guys wanted them. You know, even when they had hometown guys, they had hometown guys that was willing to play here, home state guys. So Jeff Bowers and Stan Van Gundy were the head of that. You know, Van Gundy was the president, Bowers was the general manager, and Stan Van Gundy was the head coach. And they still was at the Palace at Auburn Hill. So they placed 12th in the conference, 5th in the division. And if you go back to well, let's read the article, then we take a voyage. Fantastic voyage. He said, it seems like the most likely landing spot for Kentucky shooting guard. This is an article before the draft. Devin Booker is for the Charlotte Hornets. But according to Detroit Free Press, the 18-year-old would rather go one pick earlier to his hometown Detroit Pistons. Chad Ford had Booker going to Charlotte at 9. One pick after Detroit at 8, as does Jeff Goodman. But speaking after the pre-draft workout with the Pistons on Thursday, Booker thinks he has what it takes to play for the team for which he grew up cheering for. Quote, growing up, watching the team, just loving the dynasty that they had here and being part of it, he said, I understand the meaning of having Detroit Pistons across my chest. Booker dreamed becoming a Piston could be a problem, however, because the team already had Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Jody Meeks at shooting guard. 6'6" would be he 6'6" would be versatility enough to play small forward. I think I am. He said, I'm still growing into my body. I'm working on it. I saw a statistic where the last 5 NBA champions led the NBA in three-point shooting, and that's what I do. Booker hit 58 threes in his only season at Kentucky, and during one stretch he made 20 and 28. He averaged 10 points, 2.2 rebounds, and 1.1 assists in his short stay with the Wildcats. Scouts compare him to Klay Thompson, the NBA champion, to Golden State Warriors. He admits that Thompson is a player he watches growing up. It was Rip Hamilton. I watched a lot of Rip. It's crazy now because I was really a shooter back then. He said, I was just one of those bigger kids. I loved the way Rip played. Big shot, Chauncey Billups, Tayshaun Prince. And Tayshaun Prince block, I remember everything. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, you got a guy that wanted to be here. You had a guy who wanted to be here, and the Klay Thompson comparison at the time, that was valid because in Kentucky, he came off the bench. If my memory serves me correctly, he came off the bench in Kentucky, and he was subjected in that all-star type of system to being a spot-up shooter, okay? But he's actually a guy who's more than Klay Thompson. He's a flat-out scorer. Klay Thompson can score, but you rarely see him put the ball on the ground and get to the rim. But he's a guy that can shoot the ball. He's the guy that can score. Seen it last night. I think he dropped like 40 points last night. He can pivot. He has an in-between game. Now you see the comparisons to Kobe. People say, oh, it's disrespectful because he died and Kobe was so great, but he only 24 now. But the difference is, you see in the game, he has the mentality, and then he has the game. He doesn't have the athleticism that Kobe had, but, you see him as far as the Kobe at the end, it's the 24 Kobe towards those championship years. He is stop and pop. He's a crafty scorer. He's a shooter. I think people refer to him as Kobe because his mentality, his crafty scoring inside the three-point line. But as far as Kobe, he wasn't the shooter Booker was, but Kobe attacking the rack. And Kobe was more fluent athletically scoring, in the mid-range game. But you see what they talking about, just his mentality, his kill, his in-between game. But as far as athleticism, finishing the rack, no, even with Even talk about Klay Thompson. You know, he doesn't have the scoring ability that Devin Booker has. You know, Devin Booker posts. You know, that's what you look at Devin Booker. He's more of a scorer than Klay Thompson, but they both great scorers, and you know, Booker, great scorer, man. So yeah, you know, he coming. You know, the last 6 seasons, he averaged over 20, man, and he's a legit problem. You know, and he's a guy that you go back and look at the draft, 2015 draft, and they said, well, we already had Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. This goes back to something that Benjamin Foe said on there. He said, this draft, you draft for talent, not fit. You know, they said, well, they already got Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Pope was big enough to play the 3. You draft for talent and not fit. You look at that draft, they took Stanley Robinson at 8. This is an atrocious draft. Well, let's look at it. They had Karl Towns with 1, then D'Angelo Russell, Jahlil Okafor, Porzingis, Mario Hezonja, whatever, Willie Cauley-Stein, Moutier, Stanley Johnson. I don't even know where Moutier at. Where Moutier playing at these days? He had a lot of hype around. I think he ended up going to China or something. So yeah, he ain't been in the league. He wasn't in the league this year. You had Kaminsky, Justin Winslow, Miles Turner, Trey Lyles, Devin Booker went 13. Cameron Payne with a pick after him. Kelly Oubre, Terry Rozier, Rashad Vaughn, Sam Decker. I don't even think Sam Decker's still in the league. Y'all think he in the... Nope, he ain't even in the league no more. Gary over, he didn't do nothing in the league. Then somebody insinuated he was a racist. I think it was J.R. Smith said he was racist. Jerry and Grant. I think he's like a Jeremy Grant brother or cousin or some shit like that. Out of Notre Dame. You know, he played last year. Then you got DeLon Wright. He was here. So you got traded Justin Anderson, Bobby Portis in the finals. Rondé Hollis Jefferson, Tyus Jones, Jarrell Miller, Nicolia something, Larry Nance, R.J. Hunter didn't do much. Chris McCullum, Kevin Looney, notable second round picks. Montrezl Harrell, second pick in the second round. Willie Herman Gomez, Rashad Holmes, Pat Connaughton, the dude that played for the Bucks in the finals right now. Norman Powell. Pretty much that's it. So I mean, you know, they missed on Devin Booker. That's the biggest miss. Miles Leonard, Terry Rozier. So I mean, you can make a case Booker the best player in this draft right now. So I mean, that's on them. You got guys that's willing to come and play in Detroit, and you know, they're willing to come here and play, and you don't want to pick them. You know, Stan Van Gundy took Stanley Johnson because they needed. He drafted for fit. You know, he can guard. You should have drafted for talent, but that's why you work out guys and see their overall game. This dude averaged over 20 every year in his career, other than his rookie year. You know, you could look at Caldwell Pope and tell he wasn't gonna work in Detroit. Everybody can see that he was overrated and garbage. But then you go draft Luke Kennard, and Devin Booker was better than Luke Kennard. Hold on, Devin Booker was better than Luke Kennard. So I don't understand what the holdup was at. You know, Devin Booker should have went somewhere else other than he should have went somewhere else other than Notre Dame. He could have showcased his game, but it really don't matter now. So, but yeah, he was exactly what they needed. Caldwell Pope was trash. I never understood that pick. I never understood that pick from the beginning. I never understood that pick in the beginning because he was utter trash. And we're going to go to that draft too. I don't care if they draft him. You can tell with somebody. I remember the Chicago Bulls said the second practice they can tell that Cameron Payne couldn't play. He couldn't play in this league. I said, y'all have to wait to practice to find that out? Y'all can find that out in the pre-draft workout? Just let you know how terrible. Man, you got a lot of guys that's in the front office that ain't never played basketball at this level or ain't qualified, and they suck. And they stay there for a special thing called privilege. If it's privilege because they play for the city, the team, complexion for the protection, or whatever it may be, but Stan Van Gundy been terrible. Remember Shaq got him fired in Miami, and Pat Riley had to step back in. True story. True story. True story. Yep, got him fired. But yeah, Caldwell Pope and shit. I mean, how many people come from the University of Georgia that can hoop other than Edwards now? In that time, I mean, he wasn't that good to me. Even remember they drafted KCP over Giannis. You know, they drafted KCP over Giannis. People forget that. You know, so he got drafted 2 years. We knew in 2013 he couldn't play. We knew it. And they go get Luke Kennard. He couldn't hoop worth for nothing. So in that draft, Anthony Bennett went number 1. KCP went 8 over C.J. McCollum. Over remember Michael Carter Williams was the rookie of the year that year. Steven Adams. Giannis went 15. Schroeder. Tim Hardaway Jr. Rudy Gobert went 27. In the second round, nothing really to talk about. Nothing really. Ray McCollum ain't do shit. Ray McCollum ain't do nothing. Remember he played at UAD for his pops? He was a McDonald's All-American. I don't know what happened to him. He playing for he playing in Jerusalem now. What's the Greensboro Swarm? He played with he was in the G League last year. Yeah, he in Jerusalem right now. Ray McCollum Jr. and shit going on there. He's a G League, D League All-Star. Some people look good on the lower level, get to press rush on the level, with the big level, they don't look good. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Check out Detroit Piston Talk playlist. Don't forget you find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, response, video request, all our social media subscription. Twitter's the fastest way. Then Facebook, then Instagram, all my links there. Reach out anytime. Got whatever you got, whatever you need, let me know. Want to make a financial donation? Cash App, CJ Good 313. That's in the description. PayPal link there as well too. They won the league title. Yep, they won the title. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Peace.